A growing number of millionaires and billionaires and their cheerleaders in the media and in the Dáil are calling for vital public health restrictions to be loosened more quickly so that the economy can fully reopen and they can resume making their profits. Leading the charge, unsurprisingly, has been Michael O'Leary of Ryanair, a notoriously bad employer, despite what you might say. He has now graduated from bashing unions and driving down workers' paying conditions to demanding an end to vital public health restrictions needed to protect us all from this pandemic. 2 weeks ago, he took to the airwaves on both Morning Ireland and News Talk to demand that social distancing be reduced from 2 metres to 1. He attempted to dress this up with references to medical advice, but anyone with an ounce of cop on can see it's so that he can keep cramming people into his planes. Dr. Gabrielle Scally said in response, quote, "I really don't think that Michael O'Leary is a good source of public health advice. I think he might have a vested interest." I agree with Dr. Scally. Minister, you admitted to me in this chamber a few weeks ago that the last time the airline industry made demands of you in relation to the coronavirus, you bent the knee. You wrote to the European Commission asking for them to be allowed to rip off the public by offering vouchers instead of cash refunds. My question today is, do you support the public health advice from ENFIT on maintaining 2 metre social distance, or have you been one of the ministers clamouring behind closed doors for restrictions to be loosened so that Michael O'Leary and the rest of his class can maximise their profits?
Okay, Deputy. The health advice I have consistently and will consistently follow on this particular issue. Still?
Okay, Deputy Murphy.
So you are in agreement with the 2 metres, you're not pushing to reduce the 2 metres to 1 metre?
I've already said I haven't ever in this area in any way parted from the health advice.
Okay. I would stress for the record then, but I take it that you agree that there is substantial scientific weight behind the 2 metres. There's a review of over 200 scientific studies, which was published in The Lancet 2 days ago, which found out that transmission of viruses was lower with physical distancing of more than 1 metre. They said the evidence is clear that 2 metres saves more lives than 1 metre. WHO is also clear. There has been reference by a number of different ministers, but also by the Taoiseach last week, to say that, for example, to quote the Taoiseach, the vast majority of people would like to see us accelerate the plan. Would you agree that there's actually no evidence for that? The Department of Health's own public opinion polls, which are published on a weekly basis, demonstrate that the vast majority of people think that either the current pace of loosening is correct or they think that it's too fast. Only 23% in this week's survey thought that the pace of loosening restrictions is too low. And therefore what you have is a manufactured public opinion demanding a loosening of restrictions, which in reality is a relentless drumbeat from big business, amplified by the media and certain politicians, in particular Fianna Fáil, who demanded this debate on aviation following Michael O'Leary's media appearance. And that Matt Cooper in the Sunday Business Post gave the game away when he wrote, "It doesn't matter that opinion polls suggest that the majority are happy with how things are being done. The needs of employers in both the public and private sectors need to be given greater weight."
Very briefly, Minister, please.
Well, I mean, it's self-evident, Deputy. The vast majority of people want to see the restrictions back to zero, but they also want to see the conditions to be correct as well.
Thank you. Now, Deputy Michael Lowry.